The assembly will now come to order. The chief clerk will call the roll.
Assemblywoman Anderson, Assemblywoman Backus, Assemblywoman Bilbra-Axelrod, Assemblywoman Brown-May, Assemblyman Carter, Assemblywoman Cohen, Assemblywoman Considine, Assemblyman DeLong, Assemblywoman Dickman, Assemblyman De Silva, Assemblywoman Duran, Assemblywoman Gallant, Assemblywoman Gonzalez, Assemblywoman Gorlow, Assemblyman Gray, Assemblyman Gurr, Assemblyman Haythen, Assemblywoman Hanson, Assemblywoman Hardy, Assemblyman Hibbets, Assemblywoman Howdigi, Assemblywoman Kasama, Assemblyman Koenig, Assemblywoman LaRue Hatch, Assemblywoman Marzola, Assemblyman MacArthur, Assemblywoman Brittany Miller, Assemblyman C.H. Miller, Assemblywoman Monroe Moreno, Assemblywoman Mosca, Assemblywoman Newby, Assemblyman Wynn, Assemblyman O'Neill, Assemblyman Orlicker, Assemblywoman Peters, Assemblywoman Summers Armstrong, Assemblywoman Taylor, Assemblywoman Thomas, Assemblywoman Torres, Assemblyman Watts, Assemblyman Urick, Speaker Yeager.
Here, Assemblywoman Howdigi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May the record reflect we have 41 members present, 1 absent excused.
The record shall so reflect. We have 41 members present, 1 absent excused. That means we do have a quorum. Would ask the members of the assembly and guests to please rise. We have the prayer this morning by Elder Thomas Mason, Shopai Tribes of Duck Valley.
This song is Nayaga Hubia. It's a special song that the men used to do, our boy went them used to do, our old people. They would get in a line, all the men, all the young men, all the little ones, and then the women, the old women, the Naibi and the Naipi would get in a line and they would follow one another and they would sing the song when they broke a new area or they went to a existing camp. Every time they moved camp, they would sing the song. Buishanaragoanze, Buishanaragoanze, Waina heo, Waina, Waina heo, Waina. Waina heo, Waina, Waina heo, Waina. Buishanaragoanze, Buishanaragoanze, Waina heo, Waina, Waina heo, Waina. Waina heo, Waina, Waina heo, Waina. Buishanaragoanze, Buishanaragoanze, Waina heo, Waina, Waina heo, Waina. Waina heo, Waina, Waina heo, Waina. Buishanaragoanze, Buishanaragoanze, Waina heo, Waina, Waina heo, Waina. Waina heo, Waina, Waina heo, Waina. Buishanaragoanze, Buishanaragoanze, Waina heo, Waina, Waina heo, Waina. Waina heo, Waina, Waina heo, Waina. Ish. How you, Waina?
Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order Business 2, reading and approval of the journal.
Carson City, Wednesday, April 26, 2023. Assembly called to order at 1:07 p.m. Mr. Speaker, presiding roll called all present. Prayer by the chaplain.
Assemblywoman Howdigi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to end with reading of the journal and allow the Speaker and Chief Clerk to make any necessary corrections and additions.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. We'll go next to Order of Business 4, reports of standing committees.
Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Commerce and Labor, to which was referred Senate Bill 132, has had the same under consideration and begs leave to report the same back. The recommendation do pass. Elaine Marzola, Chair.
Order Business 9, introduction, first reading, and reference of bills.
Assembly Bill 466, introduced by the Committee on Ways and Means, and Act relating to behavioral health, revising provisions governing the imposition of a surcharge on certain communication services to support a suicide prevention and behavioral health crisis hotline, and providing other measures properly named thereto.
Assemblywoman Peters.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that Assembly Bill 466 be referred to your Committee on Health and Human Services.
Without objection, so referred. We're going to go now to Order Business 15, remarks from the floor. We'll start with Assemblywoman Backus.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We acknowledge that the land on which we gather is stolen, occupied traditional homelands of the Great Basin tribal nations, including the Numu, Northern Paiute, Washoe, Washoe, Nui, Shoshone, and Nuwu Southern Paiute peoples. We recognize that the Great Basin people originate from the mountains and valleys and are still here today. We know that their spirits, medicines, ceremonies, languages, and culture are older than the concept of Nevada or the United States. We take the opportunity to offer gratitude to the spirits and people of this land and encourage all people who live and work here to explore the impact of settler colonialism and systems of oppression that directly affect Indigenous people. Let our collective body of work bring people together and uplift the fight for balance in nature and healing the spirit. Today, we welcome the honorable elected tribal council members of the Shoshone Paiute tribes of the Duck Valley Indian Reservation, a sovereign nation with homelands in what are now Nevada and Idaho. The Duck Valley community are descendants of the great Western Shoshone and Northern Paiute nations. And I saw a bunch of students and I think elders and other folks that have made it their way to Carson City from Oahe, and if they could stand to be recognized, that'd be greatly appreciated. These elders, many elders, members, and students will be around the building today to chat with legislators about their community. It is heartwarming to see Indigenous representation in the state legislature, and we look forward to exploring ways to co-govern these lands together. Please join me in a warm welcome to the Shoshone Paiute tribes of the Duck Valley Indian Reservation.
Assemblywoman Maska.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If the Nevada First Gen Network can please stand. I'm excited to introduce them today. Their mission and vision is to alleviate the effects of COVID-19 for first-generation college students by creating a network that uplifts programs to alleviate learning loss through critical services centered around mentorship, tutoring, access to food, and technology. These amazing young leaders are all first-generation college students or graduates themselves who are working to ensuring that more students in our states have equitable access to opportunity. If we can please welcome them here in our body today. Thank you.
Assemblywoman Duran.
Thank you, Speaker. Order of Business 15.
Order Business 15.
Will my brothers and sisters up in the gallery from the Culinary Union please stand up? I just wanted to say I'm a proud union culinary member for more than 25 years, and there are many here that are union strong today that have fought for many years and will continue to fight for justice, which includes workers' rights, women's rights, healthcare rights, voting rights, human rights, and to live with dignity and respect. Will you please help me make them feel welcome here today in the People's House? Thank you.
Assemblyman De Silva.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wanted to take this time to acknowledge my special guest here today. I know many of you know, please, Dr. Weekly. Many of you know him as the voice for the College of Southern Nevada, but I wanted to take this opportunity to thank him for the years of mentorship he's done for youth in my community. I knew Dr. Weekly as a young man. I participated in the teen summits as a teenager when I was a 14-year-old myself. And for his over quarter century of service as a city councilman and as a county commissioner for Southern Nevada. So thank you, Dr. Weekly. Please let us acknowledge him and welcome him today.
Assemblyman Miller.
Think I'd have it by now. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This week we reached a tremendous milestone. We accomplished first House passage, and on tonight, my colleagues from Assembly District 2 and Assembly District 21 would like to invite everyone out to have a good time. For some bad singing, we'll get a chance to use our first names and just take a deep breath after what was a interesting and challenging first House passage as we celebrate our freshmen making it over that threshold, and some of our sophomores who didn't really get a chance to have a freshman year. So we want to invite you all out to Jimmy G's tonight. Come, have a good time. Change your clothes because you will smell like smoke afterwards. And thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Assemblyman Watts.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am joined today by guests with Sierra Nevada Job Corps. If you please stand up. Job Corps' mission is to educate and train highly motivated young people for successful careers in the nation's fastest growing industries. Today, I am joined by Leslie Mix, the Business Relations Specialist at Sierra Nevada Job Corps, alumni Oscar Lopez, and current student and participant Jasmine Hall. Oscar, after being a student at Sierra Nevada Job Corps, has been hired at Sierra Nevada Job Corps to help the next generation of students, and Jasmine is well on her way to beginning a career in nursing, something that we have had many conversations about the importance of in this building. Both of them came and testified in the legislature for the first time on legislation today and did an incredible job, and we are working to try and continue to support them, support their careers and their service to the community. So if everyone would please join in making them feel welcome.
Assemblywoman Hanson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's my honor to stand and do a welcome and a thank you to the Shoshone-Paiute tribes of Duck Valley, to Chair Mason and the council members that are here today. It's my honor to be able to have Oahe and that part of the state in my district, and I want to thank them for the hospitality that was offered to myself and Senator Hansen as we visited the combined school, and some of our students are here. They gave us a warm welcome at their assembly, and I think the members are aware of the dire situation that Oahe is in with their combined school, and we are trying to find ways here. I want to assure them that we are trying our best to find ways to address the major concerns that we have there with the location and the condition of the school. So we're glad to have you here. We hope the rest of the body will join us in 3100, go and see the displays in the front lobby. And again, thank you for your hospitality that you've offered to us as we visited Oahe, and we hope that you feel welcome here, and we're here to be of assistance. So thank you so much.
Assemblywoman Bilbray Axelrod.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today we are going to be celebrating the anniversary of James Bilbray Elementary School in Clark County. I recall the opening back in 2003, such luminaries as Governor Gwynn, Senator Governor Richard Bryan, and Majority Leader Reed were all in attendance. The school was so far out the 95 at the time, my dad said, if you get to the turnoff from Mount Charleston, you've just gone too far. Now it kind of almost seems like the middle of town. I'm so proud of the legacy my father instilled in me, not only in this building, but in all aspects of my life, a legacy I hope to continue. Congratulations to James H. Bilbray Elementary School for 20 amazing years.
Members, we're going to come back to order of business 15 at the end of the agenda, but for now we're going to go to order of business 7, messages from the Senate.
Senate Chamber, Carson City, April 27, 2023. To the Honorable the Assembly, I have the honor to inform your Honorable Body that the Senate on this day adopted Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 3, Sherry Rodriguez, Assistant Secretary of the Senate.
Order of business 8, motions, resolutions, and notices.
Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 3, introduced by Senators Wynn et al., Assemblyman Yeager et al., memorializing esteemed attorney and lobbyist Ben Graham. Whereas Ben Graham was born in 1942 in Corvallis, Oregon, and thrived growing up on his family's farm and playing the piano. And whereas, after a brief sojourn in Washington, D.C. for college and work, Ben returned to Oregon to pursue his true passion in legal studies, graduating with a doctorate of jurisprudence cum laude from Willamette University College of Law. And whereas Ben practiced law for 8 years in Oregon and also served as the president of the Board of Mentally Handicapped Adults before moving to Las Vegas in 1977 to become a prosecutor for the Clark County District Attorney's Office. And whereas Ben continued to serve as a Chief Deputy District Attorney in the Criminal Division and also played an influential role in the evolution of Nevada's current criminal law as the lobbyist for the Nevada District Attorneys Association. And whereas Ben worked tirelessly for over 30 years to improve the judicial system in this state, including teaching criminal justice courses for 29 years at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and the College of Southern Nevada. And whereas, after retirement from his illustrious career with Clark County, Ben continued his contributions to the legal community as an attorney for the Nevada Supreme Court for 14 years, by which time he had perfected his famous chocolate chip cookies that he and Alana, his loving wife of 43 years, often baked to give as gifts to their friends and loved ones in the community, including the Nevada Legislature. And whereas, although Ben's professional career included many accomplishments, one of his proudest achievements was co-founding the Lawyers Concerned for Lawyers program of the State Bar of Nevada, which assists lawyers with addiction issues. And whereas, on a personal level, Ben is remembered by his wife, his children and their spouses, his niece and nephew, as well as his grandchildren, as a man of strong faith and a constant source of support and unconditional love. And whereas, although Ben faced many challenges and difficulties during his lifetime, including the tragic passing of his daughter Carolyn in 2012, he used the hardships he endured as an inspiration for a life of service, which ultimately left an enduring impact on Nevadans from all walks of life. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the State of Nevada, the Assembly concurring that Ben Graham's legacy and immeasurable contributions to the legal community of this state be commended and remembered as having forever changed the course of life for generations of Nevadans. And be it further resolved that Ben Graham's life, both professionally and personally, serve as the true embodiment of what it means to live a life of service in this state. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of the Senate prepare and transmit a copy of this resolution to the family of Ben Graham. And be it further resolved that this resolution becomes effective upon adoption. End of resolution.
Assemblywoman Cohen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to adopt Senate Concurrent Resolution 3.
Assemblywoman Cohen has moved for the adoption of Senate Concurrent Resolution 3. Remarks?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This resolution memorializes Ben Graham.
All those in favor of adopting Senate Concurrent Resolution number 3 signify by saying aye. Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. The resolution is adopted and ordered transmitted to the Senate. Assemblywoman Cohen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Order of Business 15.
Order of Business 15.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, and members of the body, the concurrent resolution details Ben Graham's amazing career in public service, in particular, co-founding Lawyers Concern for Lawyers and working to improve the judicial system in our state. So I'm not going to repeat that, but briefly, I'm just going to mention the Graham family and the way that they open their home to multiple times per year for years, year after year, whether it was hosting Southern Nevada women attorneys or the Clark County District Attorney's Office parties. Ben led a brigade, and I mean a brigade, making a full holiday meal multiple times per year so that the community could come in and that the Grahams could use this as an opportunity to have food drives for different organizations. And they'd have hundreds of people per night in their home, again, multiple times per year. And they're just a wonderful family. Ben was a wonderful person, and I'm so proud to have known them, to have known Ben, and to know Alana, who I am proud to have been her first extern as she was the chief of child support for the district attorney's office. And so with that, I'd like to introduce the members who are here. Again, Alana Graham, Ben's wife, and if all the members of the family who are here will stand. Alana Graham, Alana T. Graham, the Honorable Alana T. Graham, who I will say that because I'm sure her dad would want me to say that. Turner Graham, Luana Graham, John McCormick, and Seth T. Floyd. I know the family is just happy to be here, and we're very happy to have you, so please make the family feel welcome.
And under Order of Business 15, if I could take a moment of personal privilege and welcome the family here. And you know, Ben Graham was one of the first people I encountered as a lobbyist in this building back in 2013. And I don't know of anyone else who knew more about the criminal code and the history of the criminal code than he did. I remember asking him questions about, well, why do we do it this way? And he'd put his arm around me and he'd say, come with me, young man, I'll tell you about how we figured this out. And he would tell me stories about, 20 or 30 years ago in the woodshed where they would work on these things. And, just he's been such an inspiration to me. And what I'm really going to miss over the past few years when I became elected, I would be in the middle of a hearing or I'd be on a committee and I would get a text message, invariably it'd be from Ben Graham, and he would say, hey, just a suggestion, or I don't know if you knew this, and it were these little nuggets that I would call nuggets of wisdom that came from Ben Graham, and I think certainly made this body function better, certainly made laws better in this state, and I'm certainly going to miss him, and I'm just really happy that you were all here today and carrying on the tradition of Ben Graham's famous cookies, which I'm not going to disclose how many of those I've had so far today, but it's probably too many, so thank you so much for being here, appreciate it. So we will go back to Order Business 8, motions, resolutions, and notices.
Notice of exemption, April 27, 2023. The Fiscal Analysis Division, pursuant to Joint Standing Rule 14.6, has determined the eligibility for exemption of Senate Bill 427. Sir Kaufman, Fiscal Analysis Division.
We'll now go back to Order Business 15, remarks from the floor. Assemblywoman Torres.
Thank you, Speaker. This Saturday is a really important day in Nevada, in the state of Nevada. It is the birthday of my best friend and legislative grandpa, my colleague from Assembly District 4. Although he is a man of few words, I have the honor of knowing him for a couple years, and I wanted to share some important facts without too much detail. He was born in Illinois, but he did grow up in Northern California. He played sports in high school and college, but the details are top secret. Make no mistake, my colleague was a star. Ultimately, he joined the U.S. Air Force, where he was a captain and a pilot in Vietnam. After returning to his hometown, he met his wife, Trish, or the woman he lived with. After traveling with his family for work, my colleague eventually ended up in Las Vegas, where he continued flying planes in the FBI. He has a lot of amazing stories about his service, and I would love to tell you some, but if you ask, they're all classified. Now that my colleague is retired, he enjoys spending time with his family, sleeping in, going to the gym in jeans, making TikToks with his best buddy, eating applesauce and Rice Krispies, and knocking on doors during his campaign. Please join me in wishing my colleague from Assembly District 4 a happy 20th birthday for the 4th time. a reminder to this body, that there will be fresh fruit and treats in the Assembly Caucus Room. And then now a special showing.
Good evening. I'm Richard MacArthur's very, very young daughter, Michelle.
Mom, you're 40 now. You should probably stop saying you're young.
Well, compared to Grandpa, I am still very young. And besides, you two will be in my shoes soon enough because time flies.
Time flies is something old people say.
Valid point. I think you two should go play some video games now. Let's get started. I cleverly titled this poem Ode to Dad because I'm young and clever.
If you say so, Mom.
Ode to Dad. I used to be inclined to call out your age and lack of youth, but now I have to remember you being 80 makes 40 my cold hard truth. Older, wiser, and officially an octogenarian. If you're so wise, you find something to rhyme with that. Growing up with an FBI agent for a dad was pretty cool until I became a teen. Then I realized detecting liars was kind of his thing. A young retired dad with time on your hands, you helped me with my high school student council plans. From posters to speeches and campaign strategy, you helped me secure the first female student body presidency. Come to think of it, did I inspire your political career? Maybe I should get a cut of that per diem this year. Fun facts about the old guy, he detests early mornings and cold weather. So this Carson City job plus my dad isn't something we saw fitting together. But we see his passion and drive for serving his state and making connections across the political aisle. And we know the people he has the pleasure to work with make the snow and alarm clocks worthwhile. Who would have guessed Biden and MacArthur would have a similar legacy? Just two old guys breaking records with earthly longevity. And finally, if you think he says no a lot during the legislative session, try being his teenage daughter asking for a curfew extension. Thank you to Governor Lombardo, Assemblywoman Shannon Bilbray Axelrod, Assemblywoman Selena Torres, and everyone who helped make this celebration possible. We appreciate you taking care of the old guy. Where are we on the old guy count? I wish we could be there in person, but I am my children's Uber driver and they have a very demanding driving route. Happy birthday, Dad, and cheers to 80 years.
Do we have any other order of business 15? Assemblywoman Howdiggy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just some announcements for the floor. Today is Ben Graham's famous cookie day, so if you have not had one, Oh, apparently they're all gone. They're a hot commodity, so if you did not have one, come back next year. Today is also the Professional Firefighters of Nevada Fallen Firefighter Memorial. The events do start at 12:30. We have Recovery Advocacy Day and the Shopai Tribes of Duck Valley Legislative Day. Friday is also Teamsters Lobby Day, and I do want to remind the body that upon adjournment, please join us in front of the very exciting brand new research library for its unveiling and ribbon cutting. We will be heading there upon the adjournment of floor. Seeing no further business, Mr. Speaker, I move that we stand adjourned until Monday, May 1st at the hour of 11:30 a.m.
Assemblywoman Howdiggy has moved that the Assembly stand adjourn until Monday, May 1st. I thought it was still April, but it's May 1st. Monday, May 1st, 2023 at the hour of 11:30 a.m. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned.